I followed the moon cycle this last month, and God gave me a word. This is going to be a live reading, which means I haven't prepared anything in advance. So I'm just excited to see what God has for you. The energy that we're in, new energy. We're in a new moon. New moon started today, 7:09 a.m. So this is brand new energy. If you follow the moon cycle, you should have ended some cycles. Okay. On Sunday, I surrendered a lot of things to God and ended a lot of cycles because it is now time for a new season. And God has so much for us. Okay. So let's see. Let's see what he has for you. Your growth reading today. Your growth reading. You know, when we do our growth reading, we do it from the Herb Crafter's Tarot. Okay, put that right there so you can see it. The Herb Crafter's Tarot. This is your growth reading. And this is the energy that we're moving in this new moon, in this season. Okay, we're moving in this energy. Okay. When God tells me to stop, I will stop. All right. Let's see what God has for you. Let's see what God has for you. Ooh, okay. Let's switch this. The Empress. The Empress. Major Arcana, so you can see it. It's the Empress card. This is your growth reading card. And oh, it is beautiful. Look at the hearts. Rose is the herb associated with it. I love it. I use rose in my spiritual baths. So, and there's a heart on here as well. A lot of red. Let's get into this card. I see a lot of heart, love, the pink, the red is your root chakra. Okay. Let's see what it has to say. And the Empress is number 3 in the deck. The Empress is a major arcana. The herb associated with it is rose. I'm getting a lot of heart. We're dealing with the heart. Okay. So, be vulnerable. Be vulnerable, yet strong. Nurture love and compassion. See beauty and abundance in every stage of life. I told you I was feeling heart, the heart. Even though red represents the root chakra, you see the heart in this. And I kept getting heart because your heart is where you are vulnerable. Okay? So you have to tap into the love, the heart, to allow yourself to love, to allow yourself to be vulnerable. Okay? So as I describe the card, I want you to look at the pictures and listen to the description. A honey-colored work table is covered in wild roses. Fall leaves are arranged in a crown. The seeds of fat, juicy rose hips, spill out next to the pink heart-shaped petals. Buds and flowers lie on a honeycomb. Red chilies from a triskel pointing to a flaming heart. A stone bead of the woman of Willendorf, which is a representation of the Great Mother Earth. And it's strung onto a rosary. Okay, so let me see. That's a honeycomb. in the shape of a heart. You know, one of the things that I just finished working on today, I told you I'm working on my course, is understanding the sacredness of nature, the sacredness of the things around us, and that God created everything, so then the things that he created are sacred. And that's the same with the honeycomb. It's like the honeycomb is a sacred piece, right? Because it came from where? It's a representation of the great mother, okay? So that stone bead that they're talking about, it's a representation of the great mother, which is the great mother earth. Healing the heart. I told you about that heart, didn't I? Healing the heart heals the world. Healing the heart heals the world. I also read today, I listened to Queen Afua. And she said a healed woman has a healed man. And that we as women are the key to our spiritual house. Not just this spiritual house, but our spiritual home within that we dwell with our partners as well. So healing your heart heals the world. It starts in your world, and then it goes out to our world. Okay? So learn to be vulnerable, yet strong, like the delicate petals of the rose, which is protected by the thorns. Okay, so the thorns serve a purpose on that stem. They're to protect the rose. Roses uplift the spirit and inspire love. Embody sensuality in bold, vibrant ways. And let creativity and abundance flourish around and within you. Creativity, God created us. And when he created us, he gave us a blueprint for success. Because everything that God created was successful. Even us. Maybe a little flawed sometimes. But when we are following the divine order, then we are following the order of success. Wild roses are prolific, creating food, medicine, and shelter for all who encounter them. Okay? As parts of the rose contain medicine, every stage of your life finds passionate expression. Create, make love, and play. Wow. Create, make love, and play. Are you allowing yourself to create, make love, and play? It is a fertile, generative time. And this is very true, because this new season, the new moon, the new season is exactly what this is. It's fertile. All of those things that you've been waiting for, the moment to say, yes, let's go. Now is the time. Oh, I got everything in place. Now is the time. This is the energy for that. This new moon is the energy for that. God has set you up for success. So let me give you some ways to help use rose in your healing journey. We are in cycles, and I shared another reading with you about cycles. So in order for you to really embrace the energy of the rose, you have to understand the cycles of life. Celebrate the many stages of life by learning the remedies for each season of the rose. Rosebuds for childhood, full blooms for midlife, and hips for elderhood. Understanding the full cycle of life will help you be able to understand God's law of success and how he created success, built success, not created, but built success into creation. Okay? So those are some ways you can use Rose. So let's move on to your bridge. What does God have for you in your bridge? You know, your bridge is how it's how you're going to make it through. Because you know what? Whenever you're going on a journey, you're going to always have some things that may come up in your path. And how are you going to deal with those things that come up? Are you going to run away from them? Are you going to get scared? Well, we might get scared. And healthy fear, there's nothing wrong with healthy fear. The thing with fear is that you don't want to allow fear to stop you. You want to keep going. It's like Joyce Meyer said. She said, do it shaken. Do it afraid, but do it. Okay? And understand that healthy fear is just a warning sign. It's just something to alert you to, oh, there may be danger ahead. It's something to open up your spiritual eye and say, be aware. Not necessarily always to stop. Okay, unless you see that it's a life-threatening, dangerous situation. And then you know how to respond. But do not just stop because you're afraid. That's my point. Okay, so what is your bridge? 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 Oh, your bridge is the Fool. Your bridge is the Fool. Okay. You can see it clearly. The Fool. And you know what I always share your bridge from my tarot for the healing heart, because you know everything that we do here is about healing. Okay. So I'm going to read a little bit on this card, though, just so you can understand what the Fool represents, because the Fool is a major arcana. And I'm going to give you a reading out of the Tarot for Healing Heart, but listen to this. Just listen. Okay. In the picture of the Fool, I mean, his head is to the sky. The sun is behind him. It's like, you know, very light, playful. What did we just say? We have said that you got to create, make, love, and play. And look at the Fool. I mean, look at him. He's ready. He's ready to do all those things. You see that? You are unpredictable, open, spontaneous, adventurous, a free spirit, and a dreamer. You are free of responsibility by choice, and do not like restrictions. You have the soul of an entrepreneur. Signifies the start of a new phase in life. Trust in your own ideas and plans, no matter what others may say. This sounds like purpose to me, okay? That's all that sounds like to me. It's purpose. Because if God has revealed something to you and said, this is the time, that now is the time, if you've been sitting on something, that you have been like, oh, I don't know if I'm going to get this out yet, and God has said, today, that's what this card is saying. Today. Now is your time. You have everything in your favor, working in your favor to make this move forward. So that if this time around, if it doesn't go forward, whose fault is it? Because God has said the door is open. The floodgates are open. I give you your life lesson and your life wisdom. Your life lesson for the Fool, mistrust. Your life wisdom is trust. Let's dig into the life lesson a little bit. This is your dis-ease or imbalance. If any of these things resonate with you, then you know where to start. Where to start looking, where to shine that light and say, Lord, okay, this is what we need to work on. And then your life wisdom is your balanced energy, your healing. Some of these things you may already be walking in and some of them not. Then that becomes your goal. This is what I'm trying to get to. If I'm sitting in one of these life lesson energies, then my goal is to get to the life wisdom. Okay, so the life lesson for the fool, like I said, is mistrust. Okay? Not listening to your inner voice. What is that inner voice? That inner voice is our intuition. It's our little spirit guide that connects us to God, and He whispers to us. Fearing or doubting the future. Having a blind naivety, being naive, immaturity or foolishness. Yeah, the fool card can go the other way too, where you can be in more of a childlike manner when you should be in an adult manner. Okay, so it can work both ways. So if you're walking in the fool energy more like I'm just a child, I'm not assuming responsibility for my life, I'm letting other people take care of me and then blaming them for when my life is going wrong, and you may be well over the age of maturity in doing these things, this is what I'm saying, then that is the opposite side of the fool, where you are on this life lesson side. And when you're walking in that, you're being naive in that sense, what it opens you up to allow others to take advantage of you, because now they think, oh, they don't know any better. So that's when you open yourself up to being taken advantage of. Refusing to try the new, just trying something different. And in this season, God is really calling us to newness. He's calling us to drop those old habits that were not serving you, and to move into the new energy that He has provided in the new moon. Or the last one, lacking playfulness. I mean, you're serious about everything. We take you to a good comedy movie and you're sitting there laughing, looking like, what's funny? So if you resonate with any of these things, understand this is just your starting point. This is just something to say, okay, Lord, let's look at this a little deeper. Okay. Your life wisdom, balanced energy. Having an openness to divine guidance based on trust. And that trust is faith. It all boils down to what we believe. When I watched my pastor, Bishop Jakes, on Sunday, he basically gave a story about he's always believed since he was a teenager. He had that type of blind faith that he wanted to test his faith with the Lord. So he said he walked 2 streets with his eyes closed. And that moved me, because I'm like, okay, so you really want to know that God got you. And, well, he survived, but it's just that it's a matter of what you believe. And when you believe and truly believe that God has you, then the sky's the limit. So you have to grow into that openness to the divine and trust Him. Having spontaneity and a sense of playfulness. So that's like, let's go and do something spontaneous. Let's go jump over here and jump in the water fountain. Or just anything. Spontaneity is spontaneous and fun. It's lighthearted. It will do so much for your energy. Put a smile on your face. A willingness to take risk and try something new without knowing the outcome, just because you trust the process. Now that's all God. That's all God. Because what God is asking us to do when He's asking us to live on purpose is trust the process. You may not even know where you're going. You don't know how you're going to get there. You may not even know what you're going to do when you get there, but God just said, trust the process. Just come on and start the process with me. Trust the process. And then abandoning old ways of thinking. Like I said, closing out some cycles, closing out things that have not served you, okay, is a way to use this full energy for your life wisdom, okay? Now, I also like to always give you some things to do. These are some actions that support your healing process. If you don't know where to start, listen to this list, and maybe these might stimulate some things for you that you might want to put in place for you. Okay. Try a sampling of several healing techniques, both ancient and modern. Please dig into some of the natural remedies, aromatherapy, herbal, teas. You will be surprised at how well they work for your body and your spirit, okay? And I want you to do this process until you find something that you trust. And you'll know. You will know. Everything you experience will lead you deeper into understanding who you are and what you believe. Everything will get you to the point to a deeper understanding into who you are and what you believe. It matters what you believe. Take time to play. This is one of your life work. Take time to play. I don't care if you want to play Monopoly, play a video game, play cards, but do something fun that doesn't involve work. It's not so serious. Be spontaneous. Just decide today, I'm going out to lunch. I'm going to take myself to lunch. Break the norm, break the pattern, so that you can jumpstart your path to go into a new direction. Open your mind, your eyes, and your heart for a time of unfolding and divine guidance. That means basically spend some time in some spiritual meditation, prayer, fasting, so that you can connect with God. And then lastly, take a leap of faith. Just do it. Stop sitting here saying, oh, what if this? Just do it. Because if it's something that you know God has your back in, hey, you're going to step out on that water and you won't sink. But what will make you sink is if you believe you will sink. All about your belief. Okay, so I have some journal prompts. I have some journal prompts for you this week. Where am I being naive? Sit with yourself. Be honest. Where am I being naive? Do I need to play more? Do you need to play more? Just sit up here and think about it in your mind. What's the last time you played a game? Do you play cards? Play sport? When's the last time you did something just to have fun? What do I mistrust in my life? And the last one, where am I rigid? Where is it that God is maybe nudging you and saying, I need a little more flexibility from you here? And you may find that those rigid areas may be due to some fear. Okay, so those are the 4 questions that I want you to deal with in your life work this week. Those are your journal prompts. And that is your bridge for this week. So let's move. And now it's time for your love card. Your love card comes from the Celebration of Love deck. Okay. You have to have love in everything. Because God is love. So how can you do anything without a little love? God is love. So, spread a little love. I don't have much of a voice today. Okay. Ooh, Lord says stop. He said stop. If my face gets cut off, then I'm sorry, guys. This is something. Oh, wow. I just love God. I just love God. Oh, my goodness. I told y'all this was not planned, right? Told y'all this was not planned. Okay, so your card, your love card is trust. Trust. Wow. God overwhelms me, so please forgive me, because He does. He overwhelms me when I see this, and I know it's not me. I know it's God. I know it's Him, and He overwhelms me with this. And I'm just His vessel. You know, I just want you to know that I am just His vessel. So, trust. This image celebrates the trust to thread into the magical waters of our imagination. It's navigating joyfully, feeling our balance, and knowing the best and highest outcome is on its way to us. The best and highest outcome is on its way to you. You have to be ready to receive it. You have to be paying attention. You have to be aware. And that's what we were talking about with the being vulnerable and being open. If you're rigid and you're closed, then nothing's getting in. Nothing's getting in. But if you are flexible, if you're vulnerable, if you just have your heart open, if you are going to take some risk like the fool, because why am I going to take the risk? Because I believe God has me. I believe He got me. That's why I'm going to take the risk. And if you do that, this is what He's saying to you. The best and highest outcomes is on its way to you. Call to mind something you thought was impossible. It just wasn't going to happen. I can tell you something for me. It's what I'm doing right now. The first time I got on camera, I was so scared. I didn't want to say anything. If God had told me that, Athena, you're going to be giving live readings to people, you're going to be teaching classes online, yeah, right. And here I am. The impossible is happening. Now go into your sacred space, and I hope you have one, and ask to become the creative self that you really are. Because what did I say? God created us. He went through the process of creation, and that's the process you have to trust, the process of creation. And in that process of creation, God built success in the process. So if you're following God's process of creation, success is built in for you. Allow solutions to come to you from this magical energy. Trust that the solutions will come, and be in gratitude every step of the way. The gratitude is important. You have to be thankful, because without God's support, Without him already clearing the way for you, the process would not flow. You understand? So that's the gratitude. Lord, thank you for clearing the way. Thank you for having my back. Thank you for making me aware of the pothole that's coming up and the way to get around that pothole. So your special message for your love card. You are being inspired to release your fear of trust. Do it afraid. You are one with God, so you don't have any reason to be afraid. All outcomes, whether you judge them as good or bad, are all in perfect divine timing, serving the best and the highest for good of all concerned. We may look at some things that may come our way that are negative and think they're there to wreak havoc in our life, and it may be something that's there to pull out something good out of you. So fear has no place in the holy equation. Fear has no place in the holy equation. Trust the process. Oh, I love that. That was powerful. That was powerful for me. That was powerful. And I love how God uses me. It's like what that was saying, how he's using me. And I'm just trusting his process. Because you don't know what I went through trying to get on here today. There were several times when I said, oh, I'm done. I tried to get several things to work and they wouldn't. So I was about to just say, forget it. Lord, I didn't put anything together. Like I said, this one was not prepared in advance. These cards are a little not so easy to shuffle. But here I am. Here I am live. Here I am. Woo. I love these cards. Me. Your growth solution for this new moon season. Your growth solution for this new moon season. Me. Me. That's your growth solution. Me. And as I told you, I love these cards because they always have the light in them. There's always a focal point of light on the top. Okay, so that's why I love these cards. So your growth solution is me. I allow serenity to reign in me. The love I have for myself invites harmony to settle within my being. I listen to honor and strive to fulfill the needs of my soul. And this is what God is calling you for this new moon season, this new moon cycle. It is time to focus on me. Okay? And allow God to give you that playful energy, knowing you trust in him to fulfill everything that he has put before you. Everything he's put before you, you have the tools and resources to do if you trust him. If you trust the process. Okay? Do it afraid. Do not allow the fear to stop you from moving. Okay? So, what is your growth solution? Me. It's time for you to go back and look at that mirror, do the journal prompts that I sent out to you, and really spend some time with yourself and allow God to speak to you and see what you need to put in place for this season so you don't miss your harvest. Because just like that love card told us, and I'm going to repeat it again to you, the best and highest outcomes is on its way to you in this new moon season. The best and highest outcomes is on its way to you. And this is the Life Calling Coach. And as usual, I encourage you to live on purpose and not by accident. And I also encourage you to like, share, subscribe to my channel. You can also find me on Instagram. Those are the only two platforms that you will find the Life Calling Coach on. And I am here as God's vessel to encourage you to live on purpose and to give you the tools needed for you to start your journey towards living on purpose. And I hope that you will visit my website as well and check out the Discover Your Life Path course. That may be your jump start into purpose. It's going to touch every part of your being and get you ready to live the life that God has intended for you to live. So I will see you the next time on my reading. And again, I don't know when God will call me and say, Athena, do a reading. But just be on the lookout. Like I said, subscribe to the channel so you can get notified of live readings. And I will see you again soon. Thank you for joining me.